All right, what up, y'all? It's Baker. Welcome to the Uphill Radio Show. We got a brand new interview. Tyler LaForce. How we feeling?
Yo, what's up, brother? I'm feeling good today. How you feeling?
Man, today I feel good. I am excited because you're new to the show. I've seen
Yes,
you.
sir.
I've seen you a little bit on Instagram and whatnot, but to have you here on an interview to get to know you, brand new. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited too. This is my first interview, so.
First off, it's Tyler LaForce. Give us a story behind that.
There's not much story behind it. That's just my legal name. So that's what I chose to go by. I used to, back in the day when I was in like 8th grade, go by the name Lil Kiwi. But then when I got to high school, I changed it up. Just went with my real name.
Oh, you got a badass name.
Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've heard "May the Force be with you." But it's dope. It's dope. I love it.
You don't really see too often artists using their real name.
Yeah, you don't. The only reason I went with it is just because like everybody told me like, yo, your last name's dope, just go with that. So I ran with it.
I'm not sure if you're familiar. Like even in Hollywood, a lot of people change their name to sound more appealing because their original name's probably like not catchy at all. But man, you don't have to worry about that at all.
When I was born, my name was Tyler McAllister, but then I was adopted when I was around 5 years old. And I got my name switched to the person who adopted me.
Give us a brief summary of who Tyler LaForce is as a person and the artist.
Man, Tyler LaForce as a person, I'm just another guy. I'm just an average Joe. I wouldn't say there's anything too crazy about me. I'm just another guy. I like to play video games. I like to go out, hang out, go to the bar sometimes. There's not too much depth behind that, but as an artist, I like to express my feelings. That when I make a song, I'm really venting to the mic. That's how like my therapy sessions. So everything you hear from me is just raw emotion.
When it comes to the craft of the arts, the music and whatnot, is this something you're really trying to go full throttle with, or do you have another career path that you're heading?
No, I've been going full throttle ever since I was about 12 years old. This is always what I've wanted to do, music. At first, it was more of audio engineering and doing music videos for people. And then I just thought, man, I'm doing all this work for other people. I might as well see if I could give it a shot. And trust me, early days, I was not good. I was not, wasn't making music that I would say is good. But as time progressed, I'm at the place where I'm at now where I actually enjoy listening to my own songs, and hopefully other people can enjoy listening to them too.
On your Instagram, I saw that it said artist, director, producer, and audio engineer.
Yep.
Congrats on taking this seriously and really trying to get there with your craft, man. That's badass.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I championed that. And you said you started at a young age. So would you say the music or the art side of things was something that you learned to love as you grew up, or do you feel like stars were shining on you and you were born to be an artist?
I feel like I was always born to be an artist. When I was a kid, music has always been like my favorite topic. Nowadays, when I go out, the only time I leave the house is if I'm going to a concert or going to a music event or doing something for myself music-wise. But actually, my birth father was... I just learned this a few years ago. He's an audio engineer and he was a rapper back in the day. So I guess you could say it was like in my blood, in my DNA to do it. But it's just what I felt a passion for. Everything else I would pick up and give up real quick because it just wasn't it for me. But music was the one thing that stuck with me and hasn't left at all.
You finding out your pops was a musician is crazy. And he's the one that had the McAllister last name?
No, I forgot what his last name was. I think it was Candelas. But yeah, I really didn't ever meet him when I was a kid. I met him in my later years. But he's a little crazy, you know what I'm saying?
The truth is, for the most part, when it comes to the artist, like they're the ones that go through like some of the craziest shit, some of the hardest times in life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, life molds you into the person you are at the end of the day, and it's all the good, all the bad. But unfortunately, the bad usually takes more reign than the good in molding a person, if you know what I mean.
Can you take us back when you recorded your first track and you got to hear your voice?
I remember when I recorded my first track. It was me and my friend Seth Willett. I just got a computer, just had GarageBand. It was a song called Shot Clock, and it was terrible. But I just loved recording it so much and the process, and it was just cool to hear something that you created by yourself. And that's what I really fell in love with.
For the audience, man, how would you describe yourself as an artist? Like, what is your genre? What do you consider yourself?
Man, I really bounced around a lot in genres, but I would say my two main genres are alternative and trap metal. Those are the two that I do the most. I used to do a lot of lo-fi, like boom bap. So, I mean, anything you throw at me, I'm all game.
How is your freestyling?
My freestyle is pretty good. It's gotten a lot better over the years. I remember when I was in high school, me and all my friends, Lucci and all the boys, we used to go to the park and just freestyle all day after school. And that was just part of the love for it.
Man, those are like good times, huh? Like just being with the boys and...
Oh man, those were some of the best times of my life. I miss all my old boys that I used to hang out in high school with. Shout out Lucci the Prophet, for real.
For everyone to learn more about you, you are residing in the state of California?
Yes. Grew up in Modesto, California. That's my hometown.
Modesto, is that central?
It's in between like Sacramento and Fresno.
Being born in the state of California, like when people around the world think of the United States, they mostly just think California, New York, and Florida, and maybe Texas. Like the rest of the states don't matter to like the other side of the world because of Hollywood, you know, just the movies,
exactly,
and the culture and whatnot. Like how does it feel for you, Tyler, to be like born in this state?
I mean, I like it. It's really expensive nowadays, but honestly, where I grew up, though, it was a really rough part. It wasn't like all beaches and sandy, like how they depict California. It's really like grimy and dirty.
How important was it for you to make trips out like to the beach and, you know, see the waves and whatnot?
I mean, I love it whenever I can go now, but I mean, as a kid, I didn't get to go out as much. Kind of just stuck in Modesto for most of my life until now. Modesto is a hard place to grow up in. I mean, there's a lot of gang violence. There's a lot of drugs. It's not a very pretty place. I'll say that. I mean, when I was a teenager, I was running in the streets. I was crazy. I mean, I was doing a lot of drugs, hanging around with some very sketchy people. But it's just, that's how everyone was out there. It was either that or you were studying to go to Berkeley, you know what I mean?
Do you feel like when you get the success through your craft, your music, you're gonna stay in Cali and just relocate, or would you like want to move out of state, maybe even out of the country? Like, what does that look like for you?
Man, I haven't even thought that far, to be honest. I mean, there's a really good music scene in California. That's what really attracts me. I mean, if you go to Southern California, the music scene's crazy. In Northern California, up here, the music scene's great. In the underground scene, it's just, I haven't seen much of that other places except for like New York or Florida.
And the music side of things, I do see a shift of like, I don't know if you remember like the good old days were like No Jumper.
Oh, I miss the old days of No Jumper. Man, now it's just a sex podcast.
He definitely took it a different direction, went a total different route. But jumping back into the music thing is like, how do you see the independent music scene, the underground scene right now?
It's kind of coming back to what it was, because when I really fell in love with music and being an artist was around 2016, 17 when the SoundCloud era was starting to pop off. And I feel like that's where I got all my inspiration, like listening to early days, Lil Peep, X, Suicide Boys. Those were always my go-tos, my favorites. And yeah, I've always been ingrained in like the underground scene. Like when I was 15, 16 years old, I was at Suicide Boys shows and Lil Peep shows and X shows. And it's rest in peace X, rest in peace Lil Peep. Like that was tragic. But after that, the scene kind of fell off for a while, and it was a lot of just industry plants. So it's kind of good to see that, like through TikTok, a lot of independent artists and underground rappers, there's a shift in it where it's coming back. People are starting to listen to them again.
I don't know what the hell was in the water during those times, but it was some good stuff. Cause yeah, R.I.P. Peep and X. To me, those guys were gonna change. They already changed the game, but they were
pioneers.
Yes.
They were doing stuff that's never been done before, and it changed the whole scene. I mean, even today, if you look at it, it's directly influenced by those days, 2016, 2017. Those were the golden era, I would say.
I'm really tapped into the scene because you guys are the ones that are making the bangers. You guys are pushing the sounds and whatnot, and so I applaud that, and I feel like it's definitely lifting back up into a new plateau.
Yeah, for sure it is. Yeah, it's good to see it kind of coming back to its roots of what it could have been in 2016, 17.
We mentioned you're an artist, a director, producer, audio engineer. Out of those four, which one resonates the most with you? What is your favorite?
I would probably say audio engineer. It's because that's what I was doing for so long. That was kind of the start of it. Learning to mix all my friends. And then back when I was around 17 until I would say 19 years old, I worked for Livewire, Jay Stalin's record label. We had a studio in Fresno, and that really kind of jumped my game because I got to record like artists that were great.
Did you ever feel like the pressure?
Oh yeah, but that pressure makes diamonds. You know what I mean? It's either you're gonna give up and succumb to it, or you're gonna overcome it. And if you can overcome it, I mean, special things always happen.
And you said you no longer work there?
No, we closed the studio about 2 years ago, and just some internal stuff was going on that is, I'm not gonna get into it, but it just wasn't the place for me anymore. And that's what, after I stopped working there, I really started taking this seriously. Just in the studio every day working.
How far are you trying to get? Are you trying to hit that all-time fame? Trying to get that cult following? Trying to get enough to make a good amount of income?
I mean, at the end of the day, I just want people to be able to listen to my music and have it resonate. If my music helps one person, then I made it. I'm just trying to like connect to all these kids and people are going through stuff, because if my music nowadays, it's just my raw emotion. I'm trying to like talk to them, tell them how I feel, and if anybody can relate to that and it helps anybody, I mean, I did my job. Because I suffer really bad from depression, anxiety, so it's hard to talk to other people, but when I get on the mic and talk to it's like someone's listening. Because at the end of the day, all we ever want to do is be heard.
I don't know, man, maybe over hundreds of artists I got to interview over the last couple of years. And it's like, that's number one. It's like music is therapy for both the artist and the listener.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, if you listen to my songs, I mean, a lot of them are dark and they're deep. Like, I couldn't talk to people about what I say in my songs. It's hard to talk about, but I can open up to the microphone easier than I can any person for some reason. And that's why I really stick with it, because it's for me at the end of the day. I mean, I don't care if anybody listens to it. I listen to it and it helps me. And if it can help someone else, that's just amazing to me.
What is your favorite record that you've done?
My favorite record that I've done. Ooh, that's a tough one. I think my favorite record right now that I've done is Square One, off my new album Nightmares Part 2, because it's just really raw and deep.
Every time things start to go right, something has to go wrong, and then it's right back to square one. Life is unfair, but nobody cares, so I act like I don't. The only way I know.
For the audience, Tyler, they want to check out your catalog. They don't know who you are, but they're interested in your story. What is the first record you recommend they listen to?
If you haven't checked me out before, I recommend you either go to listen to the Alone album or Nightmares Part 2.
Jumping into your you being a director, when did this idea come into your head that you wanted to take this route?
My aunt, she is a director and writer. She works for Disney. And I just always thought it was so cool, like seeing her make stuff. And then my love for the music just kind of resonated with me, and I said I could make music videos for people and express my art through that. Because I mean, I'm a pretty artistic person. I feel like that's the only quality that I really have that's good, you know, like my artistic styles.
Speaking for myself, like one of my favorite all-time inspirations is Walt Disney. Man, the way he created an imagination and he expanded it and whatnot. Like, who are some of your inspirations?
Lil Peep, X, Suicide Boys, because when I heard them, it was the first time where I felt like somebody kind of got me. Like somebody knew what I was going through. I wasn't going through it alone. And that was like the most powerful part of it.
Those artists that you named, they had substance. They had quality.
Substance, that's the word that I was looking for, substance. Yeah, it wasn't just rapping about nothing, talking about, oh, I got fast cars, I got money, I got this. It was like, I'm a person and this is what I'm going through right now.
Like there's times where, you know, we want to party and flex. We put on those records.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I'm not saying that those don't matter. I'm just saying what like resonated and made me who I am today was all those records.
Let's say the industry does reaches out to you, man. Like, how do you make sure you stay level-headed and you have the right team and you make the right choices?
I mean, you just gotta follow your heart. Follow your heart. Don't follow gimmicks. Don't follow what the next person tells you to do. It's all about what you know's right. Because, I mean, you know what's right at the end of the day. Everybody kind of does. But a lot of people ignore it when they see a bag or they see fame. Like, I just don't want to sell out one day.
I did notice you were following Slam Yates. How is that? Are you guys friends? What's that look like?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my boys. About a year ago, we linked up, and he invited me over to a Ash House session, which was where he's recording. And that's where I met some of my closest guys. Dave Won't Die, Anoli, Gnarly Critter, or Hank Rubé. I mean, they're all just good guys. We all just have the passion for this music. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to get people far. It's not chasing fame or chasing this clout that everyone wants. It's just, if you love doing this, you love doing this. None of us care if we ever really make it, like, as long as it makes me happy. Because, I mean, there's been times where I felt so alone. That's why I got it tattooed on my neck. I could be in a room full of people but feel alone. But with music, like, there's just a certain level of connection that I haven't been able to get anywhere else.
These guys are different and it's authentic. There is no flakiness, there's no fakeness. So to be a part of that or to even know them, that is...
Yeah, I think that's what made us gravitate towards each other. It's just the real it's authentic. It's not. Nobody wants to be something that they're not.
100%.
We're all just being ourselves at the end of the day. And if you don't like it, we don't care.
I've seen videos of them performing, man, and they are some hard hitters, man. They get down. It's cutthroat energy. Have you performed yet?
Oh yeah, I've done a lot of. Me and Dave Won't Die just got done with a tour. We toured up California, and then we went to Baltimore for our last show. And I mean, it was just a great time. But yeah, Slam was performing with us for a lot of the shows. Anoli. It was just. That's just the circle I surround myself with. My brother Lemniskate. Shout out to my boy Lemniskate. He's really what made me kind of pursue what I wanted. Because before I was just making like Northern California rap. Just everyone I was recording. Back when I was recording like a lot of big names in the Northern California rap scene, that was kind of what I knew at the time. And then after I stopped doing that, I started working on myself. I linked up with my brother Lemniskate, and we started making a lot of alternative music, and that's when I realized, like, okay, this is where I can truly express myself. And then I was doing a lot of alternative music, and then what transitioned me into trap metal was my brother Dave Won't Die, because he just had this, like, raw emotion. Like, it's crazy energy, and I'd like kind of we matched each other's energy.
And you be seeing the moshing, huh?
Oh yeah, we love ourselves a mosh pit.
Yeah, that's one thing that is not in low supply at one of y'all shows. Like, there's gonna be some headbanging.
Yeah, there's gonna be some headbanging. There's gonna be a piece of people getting knocked over, knocked down. But it's all love at the end of the day. Like,
yeah,
everybody who's been to our shows knows it. Like, it's just a good time.
But to me, I think what like really it gives me dopamine is hearing like the stories of performing, man. Like, how does it feel to have that mic and be singing your music to the fans? Like, or does the nerves, excitement, does it feel good? Like, talk about that.
Nothing compares to performing live, because you get to see the listeners. You get to actually, it's like a very personal thing. It's not just you seeing a view go up on your SoundCloud or YouTube. It's like actually seeing the person, their expressions, see how they're feeling when they hear the song. And whenever anybody is singing along with me, it's just the craziest feeling. Like, people really know the lyrics to my songs that I never thought that would happen.
That is probably one of the best feelings in the world.
Oh, for sure. I think probably the best moment of my life will be when I get to perform in front of a really big crowd and just get to go crazy.
When an artist does a big stadium performance like Rolling Loud or something like that, like, it's literally all this energy harnessed, and imagine that kind of feeling and that control. You know, you're like, what, a magician? You know, like you're in control of that.
It's crazy that something that you make can have an impact like that. You see it firsthand. And I think that's like the best feeling, is you seeing your work in real time, going and being enjoyed.
When I used to go bar hopping back in the day with the crew, like, you know, I'm not a rapper, but I would freestyle. You know, it's a fun thing to do when you're drinking and whatnot, smoking a cigarette, and it's just like 10, 20 of us, but it feels good just to be just feeling that energy. There's something about that.
Yeah, it's like magic. It's like something that, it's like supernatural when it happens. It's like something takes over. Like, whenever I'm performing, it doesn't even feel like it's me. It feels like I'm being possessed by like the music gods or something. I'm a very insecure like person. Like, I have social anxiety is terrible, but if I'm on stage, that just like disappears.
Yeah, you turn into a superhero.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep,
like all your problems just kind of dissipate until you get off that stage.
Whoa.
It's like a high that drugs can't give you.
Let's say like, damn, I really fuck with Tyler. I wanna get him to direct one of my videos.
Just hit me up on Instagram. I'm always down to work with people. As long as you're genuine and you're on the same time, I will work with everybody. I really haven't made money at this music. I've spent a lot more money than I've made. And it's just for the love of it.
The return isn't there. You know, we put out energy and our effort, but I do believe in both good and bad karma, and the universe sees that, and you'll get what you put out there. And
everybody gets what they deserve at the end of the day.
We're 8 months in 2024. How has your year been?
My year's been it's been weird because I recently moved out of my house that I was living in for 20 years, and I'm kind of on my own now, so it's been like a big transition. But I have so much music backed up that I've just been kind of waiting for either features but soon I got some of the best music I've ever made ready to put out. But it's been a slow year. Like last year I think I dropped 10 albums, and this year I've only dropped one and a few singles. But it's just because life was happening, you know?
Congrats on getting your own place.
I appreciate that.
You brought up earlier, you know, being in the state of California, it is expensive, and that is no doubt, like, it is. It's fucking hard to do anything. You need to get roommates or this and that. But the thing though is, like, when you do get your own place, it changes everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have your own space. You don't feel like, because I grew up in a very dysfunctional household, dealing with alcoholism and just like a lot of mood swings from my guardians. I never really felt like secure. It was always kind of like looking over your shoulder, not knowing what to expect. So now that I'm on my own, it's like a breath of fresh air. And I would say that to anybody, like, once you get out of whatever situation you're in, like, you're not going to be in it forever. Like, it's really changing. It changes a lot.
You brought up how you were adopted, and you just mentioned some of the hard times you had. For the listeners, man, would you say your childhood and growing up, was there an even of lows and highs of the yin gang, or did you have one more than the other?
It was a lot of lows. I mean, there was always good times. I mean, you can't forget about the good times, but I would say growing up for me was really rough. Not saying that we didn't have the family that I was with, that we didn't have any money or were struggling to pay the rent. It was more of just emotional. No one really knew how to deal with like my emotions or how to deal with their own emotions. So it was just very chaotic all the time. But I mean, I can't blame them at the end of the day. Everyone's human. You know what I mean? Like, when no one's perfect, and you can't forget that. But growing up, like, you don't understand that.
Maybe when we're in it and we're young, you know, we don't have the tools, so it's fucking hard to express ourselves and whatnot. But when you do get older, and if you hit a certain level of like knowledge and wisdom, you go, wait a minute, we're all fucked. We're all humans. We're all flawed. Yep. And you go, okay, shit, I get it.
When I was growing up, it was a lot of rough times from outside sources. But when I was a teenager, it was really just a lot of self-damage, a lot of drug use. And I was a really bad drug addict from about the age of 14 till I was 20 years old. I've been clean for about 2 years now. And I mean, that changes everything. Your outlook, your perspective on things. Because, I mean, when you're on drugs, you're just chasing that high. You're just trying to chase something. It's like chasing a dream, like, but a really fucked up bad dream, if you know what I mean. At the end of the day, we all make our own path, and it's not about what you're going through, it's about how you deal with it. And it took me a long time to learn that, but I'm glad that I did. And for all those who are still going through it, just know that you're not alone through that shit. Like, Nobody would have even known that I was going through the things I was going through. But I mean, thank God I got through them.
Well, one, man, congrats. 2 years, man. Even if it was 2 days, like that is big to get out of that realm. It's literally a different realm that you're living in. Your lens is different, your behavior is different. It's just a total different thing. And for you to be in a much healthier spot is good, and awesome, bro. How do you feel about your position right now overall?
I feel like I'm in a really good place. Outside wise, I mean, I'm still struggling with depression and anxiety like every day. That doesn't really go away, but it's easier now that I'm not having to deal with such crazy environments and self-destructing every day, just looking for that next high. I'm actually focused on real things now, like making it in this music, helping all my friends do whatever they can. I mean, recording people, make a living, all that. It's just now I could focus on the right things instead of trying to get that next $5 so I could go get a pill.
I feel like a lot of us has had those circumstances of like drugs and maybe alcohol as well, whatever, or even maybe like sex. Like people will spend their money wherever, gambling.
People can get addicted to anything.
100%. And I feel like once you break that chain, you're like, wait a minute, this money that I spent on that bullshit, I could finally get myself a nice outfit or a good meal or pay this bill. Like it really changes your perspective.
You're always recovering. It's not like you're just good one day and the next day you're great, or you're bad one day and the next day you're great. Like I still have days where I really have to try to stay sober, but I've been able to. I've had my slip ups, but it's just being able to talk to yourself instead of just letting your emotions get the best of you and calling the plug.
I want to give you a hot take, especially because you've been sober for 2 years or whatnot. I feel like when someone has their addiction and like the main addiction, I get that we all have vices and stuff like that, but when we break a major addiction, you get some people going, wow, I've been sober for 6 days or I've been sober for 14 days. I think when we put a number to it, it's bad because, and I'm only speaking for myself because it's happened to me. I think it's bad because you are going to slip up. You're going to do it. The percentage is you will slip up at least a couple times. And what that could do to you is be like, fuck, now I got to start over. I don't have 60 days anymore.
See, like in the last 2 years, I've had my slip ups, but I don't say, oh, now I've been sober for a day. It's not about, like, everyone has their vices, but it's about going back to it the next day. It's about, are you going to do this consistently again? Or was this just a one-time thing and then get level-headed again?
And for people who are struggling right now, Tyler, what is one recommendation or one piece of advice that you can give them to help them out?
If I were to give you one piece of advice, just know that you're not alone. Because that was my problem. I just felt so alone for so long. Like, that's why I got it tattooed right here on my neck. Like, you are not alone. There's always people you could talk to. And I mean, I get that people sometimes can judge, but if that's what they're gonna do, then fuck them. You're not talking to the right person.
Yeah.
But you're not alone through this. Like, everybody's going through some shit. There's not a single person in this world who can say that they're not going through anything and has a perfect life. So I would say just don't be so hard on yourself. And when you need help, and don't be afraid to reach out for that help. Because the number one thing is, like, admitting that you have a problem, or admitting to yourself that what's going on isn't, like, okay, and you can't keep living like this. And there's resources out there now that, like, weren't out there before to get yourself clean or help with your mental. There's always something now, and it's not a pill. It's not Because that, at the end of the day, made me feel worse. I was my most depressed when I was on pills, when I was doing lean, doing coke. It's just, they're all depressors. At the end of the day, you are your own worst enemy. And you gotta learn to battle that. But there's always help. If I make all this music and only one person, like, it helped or resonated with them, then I'm happy. That's all I'm here to do. I'm not here to chase this fame. I'm not here to get $1 million, did all this. I don't care about that. I only care that I can support myself and live comfortably. That's all I care about. And that other people could do the same around me. Things start changing is when you start helping yourself and people around you.
We have 4 months left. Do you have any goals set in place?
Any goals? I have this project that I'm working on. The end is near. It's a trap metal project. I got a lot of big names on it. Hopefully I could finish that up and get it released by the end of the year. That's my main goal. And then just my other goal is just making it through the year.
Perfect right there.
Getting to the end of the year. Because, I mean, it's still day by day, you know? Every day is a battle.
Yeah.
And thankfully I've been able to overcome my battles, but you know what I mean? Who knows what can happen any day?
Let's say we all find out the world's ending in a few days. What does Tyler LaForce's last meal look like?
Ooh, my last meal. If I were gonna have a last meal, I'd probably go all out. I want everything. I want baby back ribs. I want some tri-tip. Probably some sushi. Ooh, I love sushi. So good. Definitely. I think my last meal, if I got to pick one thing, it would be sushi. Some good rolls.
What's the drink look like?
Last drink? If it was the end of the world and we were about to die?
Yup.
Man, I hate to say it, but I'd probably pour up. If it was the last day.
Does Tyler believe in aliens?
Yes. I mean, how could you? They telling you there's like millions, billions of galaxies, and it's just ever expanding. You're telling me we're the only life forms out there? If you think that, like, no offense to anybody, you got your head up your ass. Like, how could we be the only people out there?
Yeah.
Like, not even people, anything, any species. Just look at the ocean. The ocean is like, you see the craziest creatures you've ever seen, and that's just under us. Fun fact.
Yeah.
One of my worst fears is the ocean. I am terrified of being in the ocean. Just because you don't know what's under you, and it's like, it's another world when you go in the water.
And I also believe that, what do they call them? Sirens? You know what a siren is? Like a mermaid?
Yeah.
Yep.
They like lure you in with like songs, and yeah, I believe in all that stuff. I'm a real conspiracy theorist, as they would say.
They'll say like a unicorn never existed, but I'm like, there's a fucking whale with a horn right now. Like, why wouldn't a horse have it?
Yeah. Just good. I mean, see how many animals have already gone extinct in the last 100 years? You think that mythical creatures probably didn't go extinct?
What was it? The dodo bird? Have you heard of that?
Yeah. What I think is dragons. I think that there was dragons for sure.
100%, man. If there was,
I think that we probably just killed them off because we were scared of them, or they were. I mean, that's what we do now.
Have you ever had like an encounter though with an alien or a UFO?
I mean, I've seen some shit in the sky before, but nowadays, like, you can never tell. Like,
Yeah.
it's so quick. Like a year ago, actually, I saw this, it looked like a star, and it was moving like crazy fast along the sky, like something that didn't even make sense, and then it just went up.
Crazy thing about it now is that like we were so far in technology, like who knows, it could be just the government.
Oh, you know for a fact, if we discovered aliens, they wouldn't tell us. They know we'd lose our minds. I mean, they do that about everything. They didn't tell us about the nuclear bomb until after it was detonated. I've always kind of looked into all these theories, and I think I'm a big conspiracy theorist.
What is probably your funnest, coolest one that you believe in?
I think that Nikola Tesla had figured out some stuff that he was not supposed to figure out, and the government had him killed, and they seized all of his documents, and they're just withholding all of these technologies and things that could advance us just to keep us down, kind of in a slave mentality. Because, I mean, we're just working for them for the dollar. I think that money is stupid.
Money is literally like shaping a world that we don't need to live in.
Yeah. And I've seen people with millions and millions of dollars who are so unhappy. And I've seen people who are living check to check who are 10 times as happy as that person. It's all about your outlook on life. It's not about how much money you have in the bank.
That's the program they set up. And what gets me, man, is like, why?
So they don't have to do it.
Shit.
Us doing the hard work while they got billions and trillions of dollars, just unthinkable money, doing whatever they want, living their lives.
I'm sure you see it, like AI is rampant now. It's everywhere. It's on all social media, and it's getting...
AI scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not going front. AI scares the shit out of me. Has nobody seen the Terminator? Has nobody seen the Terminator? I think we need to cool it on all that stuff.
These movies like Terminator or like iRobot, there's multiple other ones, great ones. The robot or AI turns on like people like us, but wouldn't they turn on like the government, like the Illuminati? Like, yo, what are you doing? No, that's not how you do things. I'm now the new ruler. Yeah,
but if you look at on the internet and all the information that they're putting into it, they're not teaching them that they're the bad ones. They teach them that humans are the bad. We are the ones that cause global pollution. We're the ones that are ruining our environment. And they would think that, yeah, the best... Humans are probably the worst thing that ever happened to this planet, sadly. I mean, it's weird saying that as a human, but I mean, we completely have destroyed this place.
Yeah, but even with what you just said, once AI is able to download all the data, they would in turn also hear this right now. They would hear what we just spoke on and go, wait, maybe they're onto something.
Well, I feel like at that point, higher ups, everybody's the target.
Oh, shit.
If you're human with flesh on you and a heartbeat, they're coming for you. They don't care about your status.
Damn, what a crazy time we're living in, huh?
Fuck. Right. I'm just. That's why I live in the moment. You never know what could happen tomorrow.
What is your favorite film?
Ooh, my favorite film of all time. That is probably one of the hardest questions I've ever been asked. One of my favorites is Step Brothers. Step Brothers is just funny. That movie cracks me up every time I watch it. Or Pulp Fiction. What's that other Tarantino movie? Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, that's an underrated film right there.
That movie's so good.
Well, those three right there were goats.
Yeah, those are some good ones right there.
What is it? What the fuck do they? Prestige Worldwide.
Prestige Worldwide, wide. Boats and hoes.
Yeah, dog. Dude. I've watched that movie probably so many times.
Oh, I bet I could recite it word for word at this point.
Bro, when he puts his ball sack on his drums, dude, what the fuck?
That is crazy. But Yeah, I'm also really big into anime. Just the art style is so crazy to me.
Yeah. What's some of your favorites?
I'd say Death Note is one of my favorites. Hellsing, that one's great. What's another one of my favorites? Naruto, that's a GOAT.
Yup.
Like I said, I could go on all day about anime and movies.
Yeah.
I'm a real pop culture geek.
The thing with anime is I just love like Japanese culture.
Japanese culture's sick. Like, they just do it different.
What are some things you want to achieve before lights out?
Finding true happiness. That's like my main goal, is like to be like comfortable with myself, comfortable in my skin. Like, that would be my main goal. But if we're talking bucket list, I mean, I really want to jump out of an airplane, but I'm afraid of heights.
This guy goes, if you're suicidal, jump out of a plane with a parachute.
No, yeah, without a parachute. What is it? If you're suicidal, jump in the middle of the ocean.
Oh shit.
and see that you're not trying to swim to get air.
Yeah, make sure your homie's there or something before. But what's so crazy about those takes is that might sometimes help you like find true happiness.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do some crazy shit to realize what's going on, but it's not always the best.
True. It depends on where you're at in life.
Yeah. Another fun fact, I'm a big gamer.
What do you have? An Xbox, PC, PS?
PC and PlayStation 5.
Hard, man. What do the games look like?
On my PC, I'm either playing Counter-Strike 2 or Escape from Tarkov. Probably the two most rage-inducing games I've ever played in my life.
Yo, how's Escape?
It's fun. I love it. I love it because it's so rewarding. Because it's such a hard game, and like the learning curve is so crazy. When you like accomplish something, it's like really you feel accomplished and proud of yourself. It's not just like, oh, I got 20 kills in a match. It's like I just survived the craziest shit.
What? You get between there, the boxes run off. Oh.
What about on the PlayStation? What you playing?
Probably like PlayStation's like if I'm like too mad at my games. On the PC, like I'll either play like some Fortnite with like my family, or I like this one game called Maneater where you're a shark. It's like a
Whoa.
Yeah, because I love sharks. Sharks are like my favorite animal.
No way. Them things are crazy brutal.
Yeah, I have a tattoo of a shark right here.
Yo, that's hard. Damn.
Yeah, I've always been really fascinated with sharks ever since I was a little kid. Even though the ocean scares the shit out of me, it's just sharks are just so, like, and there's so many different types, and they all have different, like, skills and flaws. But some of them, like, some of their flaws will, like, help their skills.
What I find fascinating is that sometimes you'll have like the little fish following the shark.
They'll do it for protection. Like, usually, like, there's some fish that either help clean off the shark's skin from, like, algae.
Yeah.
And they'll, like, latch on. Or there's ones that help them find prey, and they'll, like, tolerate each other.
Damn. The circle of life, huh? Crazy. Tyler LaForce, it was a pleasure having you on. For the audience, is there a last message you would like them to hear before we wrap it up?
For the audience, I would just want to tell you guys, no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. And don't be afraid to reach out and get help. And if you ever feel like nobody loves you out there, love yourself.
Tyler LaForce, I want to say thank you for doing this, joining Up Here Radio. It was a pleasure having you on. And I know that to me, it feels like we barely scratched the surface on you as an artist. And even as a person, I feel like we could have a part 2 whenever you're ready. You know, it would be
always down. I had a pleasure talking to you too, bro.
Man, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like even on just like the fun side of things, like when it comes to the artistry, or even conspiracy theories, like we could have another great podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm always down. Just let me know.
Everybody, this is Tyler LaForce. Definitely check out the rest of his catalog. Give him a follow. It was a pleasure, man.
A pleasure talking to you, bro.
Thank you.